Hey guys, this is Holland with Wolverine.com, and we're back with another episode of Recruit of the Week. Before we dive into this week's recruit, I want to invite you guys to subscribe to the Wolverine.com right now for just $10 until next football season. That's $10 until August 31st of next year, and that gets you premium insider information on football recruiting, the football team, basketball team, and you get to be a part of the great message board community over on the Fort. All right, guys, let's dive into this week's recruit, and this will be on 300 offensive tackle Spencer Fano out of Provo, Timpview in Utah. Fano is set to make his decision on December 6th. He is just coming off his official visit to Michigan for the game against Michigan State. Fano had a great time in the big house, really enjoyed the atmosphere. Obviously, 110,000 plus. Caught his attention, especially since he's a kid from out west where the crowds aren't nearly as large. He got a chance to have the best seats in the house. He was right in the front row in the recruiting section. He hung out on the 50-yard line pregame. And on top of all the, just in-game festivities, he also had a chance to have individual meetings with head coach Jim Harbaugh and offensive line coach Sharon Moore. And I think Sharon Moore's just done a fantastic job in this recruitment. He also got Fano on campus for an unofficial visit in the offseason. He's been out to see him in Utah on multiple occasions. They've built a really, really good personal connection. And I think Michigan also has a really invaluable recruiting tool in Andrew Gentry. Both Gentry and Fano are of the Mormon faith. Obviously, Michigan was able to land Gentry during his mission last cycle. Now, unlike Gentry, Fano is not going on a 2-year mission upon graduation. That would have essentially made him a 2025 recruit. He is staying in 2023 and will take his mission later on. But I think Gentry has a lot to not necessarily sell to Fano, but a lot to bond with. That religion is very strong in their faith. And something that Gentry told me when I had a chance to go out and spend time with him on his mission, which was a really unique opportunity, was he wanted to be different and he felt called to Michigan as opposed to just going to Utah or to BYU. Gentry has a brother at BYU and he opted not to go play with him. Fano has a brother at BYU and BYU is not one of his finalists. So, that's something they can bond over. And one thing that Gentry told me when he was on his mission was that he felt compelled to call others to join him at the University of Michigan, especially others of his faith. So I think that he can definitely play a big role in helping the Wolverines recruit Fano down the stretch. And he can, prove that it's not too tough of a transition from a faith standpoint. From everything I've been able to gather, it's been pretty seamless from Gentry going from his mission to Ann Arbor in the summer and now fitting in with the team. So and obviously they play the same position, both offensive tackles. So again, I think Gentry is an invaluable weapon. I think Moore, like I said earlier, has built a personal connection, and Moore has a lot to sell. Obviously, being an offensive lineman, a former offensive lineman himself, coaching Michigan to the Joe Moore Award last year. And Fano had a chance to see firsthand what type of offensive lineman Moore has in his arsenal. He wants to recruit big, physical, nasty offensive linemen. They dominated Michigan State. Michigan has shown that it is committed to running the football and really puts a premium on road grading offensive linemen. And I think that really appeals to Fano. Now, like I said earlier, he's set to make a decision in December. The finalists being Michigan. Obviously, the two West schools that are high on the list are Oregon and Utah. And then Clemson is also in that final group. Clemson will get his final official visit. They came in a little late, but I wouldn't completely dismiss the Tigers. I am worried about Oregon and Utah. Oregon has done a fantastic job of recruiting Polynesian players in the past and has hosted him for multiple visits. Utah, again, very strong in the Mormon faith. It's the home state school, so he wouldn't have to leave. And now it looks like Utah could have another weapon in the recruitment of Fano. I just put in a on-3 prediction for the Utes to land top 100 offensive lineman Caleb Lemieux, who was coming off an official visit to Michigan, which makes Fano even more of an imperative target for the Wolverines. He is now the clear top tackle prospect on the board. But if Utah does land Lemieux, that will help with Fano. They've grown close throughout the recruiting process. They spent a lot of time together on their Michigan official visit. They spent a lot of time together when they visited USC. So they've grown as friends. And Lemieux is expected to make a decision this month, which means, again, if he does in fact pick Utah, then he will help the Utes recruit Fano. So that's something to monitor. But there's still plenty of optimism surrounding Fano and Michigan. The Wolverines are going to continue to work hard. Sharon Moore is going to continue to put in the work. And like I said, he's the top tackle on the board. Michigan has done well, recruiting some of the interior guys here as of late. They already hold a commitment from in-state prospect Amir Herring. They're trending in the right direction with Nathan Afobe. They are trending in the right direction with Taliafi Ta'ala. So I think interior offensive line is just going to be fine. They have a really good tackle land right now in Evan Link, but they really want one more tackle in this class, and they want another premier guy like Link, and that is Fano. I had a chance to see Fano play last year in Utah, and that was a really cool experience being out there for a triple header, and Fano hadn't even picked up a Michigan offer at the time, but took a few photos of him and he caught my attention. I mean, he was terrific in pass pro. He's just a natural tackle, and he's added some weight to his frame, which I think was a big concern. Now I think Fano is basically the total package, and there's a reason why Michigan is making him the number one guy and has made him a top-tier guy since basically the beginning of the calendar year. So we'll see how things shake out. Right now I do think Fano staying west is probably a safe pick, but Michigan is going to continue to push all the way up until his decision next month. All right, guys, for more recruiting information, like I said, subscribe to thewolverine.com, just $10 until next year. Make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're putting out new daily video content. It is completely free, and give this video a like. See you next week.